For decades, they've stood tall, very tall, urging us to pull over and take a look. Conor Knighton sizes up these giants of the roadside.
Joel Baker is a giant hunter. He travels in search of towering sentinels, which watch over small businesses all across the country.
We got 1 foot that's still here.
It's a quest that began more than 10 years ago, when he became fascinated by a family of fiberglass figures collectively known as the Muffler Men.
I think it's just because I'd never heard of it before. They were larger than life. It was like they were these massive things that were so hard to miss, and yet hardly anybody knew about them or cared. And I think that intrigued me.
Back in the 1960s, these 20-foot tall characters were considered the height of outdoor advertising. Businesses purchased figures from California company International Fiberglass, which had acquired a mold for a Paul Bunyan character. It could be modified to promote all sorts of establishments.
The arms, they made 2 different versions of how the arms fit into the sleeve, and I can tell by looking at him that he is a very early version. This is the first version they made, and then they modified their design.
The giant watching over Lauterbach Tire in Springfield, Illinois, was one of those early Bunyan designs. He's been moved back and forth to different locations, has survived a tornado decapitation, he's featured in local radio ads.
I am Lauterbach Man. I am Springfield.
Let me see the back of the shirt.
Yeah.
According to co-owner Mark Lauterbach, he remains a pillar of the community to this day.
No one knows where we're at until we say, hey, look for the giant, and then like, oh yeah, I know exactly where you're at. So.
The giants were originally intended to draw attention to local businesses, but they've since become attractions in their own right, thanks to a fan community that coalesced around the website Roadside America.
Every giant has their personal story, right? And they vary so much, you know. Arms fall off, heads are stolen or missing, and oftentimes people will take pictures, and Roadside America will update their site.
The site coined the term Muffler Men after noticing a few businesses had swapped out the Bunyan axe for a muffler. But the statues have been modified to hold nearly anything. A map chronicles sightings of a whole extended family. Some consider these Vikings part of the cast of characters, as well as these ladies, the Uniroyal Tire Girls. In the 1970s, International Fiberglass stopped making the figures. The craze had cooled off. Many of the giants were torn down and tossed aside. There are thought to be just a few hundred left.
Every once in a while, there's one resurface that's been in someone's backyard that we never knew about in storage.
That's my favorite part of all of this, is the hunt. You know, looking for something that's lost. You got pictures of a giant in a town in 1984, and then what happened to that? That's what I love to do.
Baker and friends like Michael Yunkin have started a side business tracking down, collecting, and restoring the characters.
We're at the greenhouse of Crystal Lake in just north of Chicago.
Documenting their quest on their YouTube channel, American Giants.
This one's unique in that the fiberglass overlaps on a shirt here. I've never seen that before.
Today, restored figures in good condition can sell for tens of thousands of dollars.
Is it a challenge to make your new repair match the old form?
So that's something that we spend a lot of time trying to fix, and when we are fixing cracks, it's trying to line things up perfect back to the way that they were. Because we want it to be original, we don't want to see any weird modifications to it.
So you're going to bolt this, and then we're going to flip them, and you're going to fiberglass?
Yep.
The team is currently at work on preserving the legacy of these figures. They've recently created a small museum of giants in Atlanta, Illinois, just down the road from a hot dog man.
It's really a shame to have giants and have them where nobody can see them. These were built to be out where the public can enjoy them and visit them, take their pictures.
If only the statues could speak. They have seen it all. Unflinching witnesses to decades of road trip history, providing countless smiles to help break up the miles.